Think there is a little bit of that consumerist, just, well, if I put down the money, I should get the result back. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way.
So men will join, invest in themselves, right? And then they'll be late to calls. They don't do the work, right? And I'm like, this is very interesting to me because like you're paying to be here, right? Because when there's no financial investment, then they'll leave whenever they want. I learned that my first container. I was like, oh, just do it. You know, you're my friend. And they'll be like, hey, you never showed up, you know? But what I find interesting is like, I'll ask them, what career are you in? Someone's like, oh, I'm in ad tech. I'm like, amazing. Elon Musk calls you and says, I'm gonna give you 10 minutes Tuesday, 3 o'clock on a Zoom call. Would you be late? They're like, no way. I'm like, but you're late to your own show. You don't get on the calls when it's about you, but you'll get on when Elon Musk tells you, give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna change your life. And I've tied that to, it's really tied to that self-worth issue. Because see, they put more worth in the outside of them. Like, Elon will make my life better. But me, betting on me, blackjack at the table, I'm gonna bet on Jerold Limongelli. Oh, nah, that guy, I don't know about him, but I'm gonna bet on Elon because that's a win. And I think as we get older, we get to realize how much in our life have we done that?
Really good point, man. I think that's a really good insight. That's also something we get to mature and grow into is believing in ourselves enough. And
Yes.
how do you generate that belief in yourself? By going out and shooting your shot, right? Taking a shot on
That's
yourself
right.
and owning the failures, I think, is one part of it, but also having the courage to put yourself out there and then win. Having those wins,
Exactly.
saying like, dude, look what I did. Look what I was able to do. I did that. Now I can trust myself. Now I can trust myself more than Elon Musk. Right?
Exactly.
But you don't just inherently trust yourself. Like, I think that's the biggest like through line I'm hearing here is things don't just happen. You said before we got on the call, guys don't want to invest in themselves. Yeah, I see the same thing because it's not like you're buying a television or a new pair of Dunks.
Nope.
You're creating an opportunity for yourself, but then you must step through the door. It's like the difference between buying something where there's some assembly required, right?
Yeah.
In
it's
order
like
to get
IKEA
what
furniture.
you want. yeah. It's like IKEA furniture or like a model airplane. You don't just buy, it's in a box, right? A puzzle, right? You bought yourself a puzzle. Great. You want to see what that puzzle looks like? Well, you're gonna have to log in some hours and do some work. That's what's required here in this space. And I think there is a little bit of that consumerist, just, well, if I put down the money, I should get the result back. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way.
Right. Well, we're an instant reward culture. I mean, I worked 4 years in ad tech. I saw, when I clients like Bumble and Tinder, it was like, swipe right, get a new one. I don't like this one, get another one. Instant gratification, right? So why wouldn't self-development be the same way? 90 days? Oh my God, I'll just go to a weekend. Then they come back, they're healed. And I see that too in, when you get into the more spiritual side, which it's one of my pillars, mind, body, spirit, service, right? And I've experimented with tons of different plant medicines and psychedelics and things, and I think they're great. But they are like the Cliff Notes to the Moby Dick novel. Like, you're just reading segments. And most people are like, I'm just going to go do ayahuasca for the weekend. I'm going to come back and Om Shanti, I'm healed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, good luck until someone cuts you off on the 405, and then we'll see how chill you are.
Well, and I think that's part of the tragedy of plant medicines, just to make a slight digression down that road, that the way that they've made not the fact that they did, but the way by which they've made their way into greater society, modern society, the Western world, the introduction was met with, oh, here's an opportunity to capitalize, right?
Absolutely.
And as soon as that happens, there's not a reference point. There's not follow up or follow through. I mean, these medicines that have been nurtured and made relationship with over thousands of generations, they were praying with these medicines, right? This was a central part of people's way of life. So by contrast, to show up, for a weekend and consume to have this medicine enter your body and then let it influence you cellularly and spiritually, but then to have no follow-through, no relationship other than that. It's like it'd be like going to college and you just poked your head in for 5 minutes in a class and then stepped out and said, yo, I'm a scholar. Right? Like let's go do business. I'm ready.
Yeah.
I got something. And I say that with the greatest humility, man. I mean, I've been sitting in medicine ceremonies for the past 5 years consistently, and I feel like I'm a baby in there, man. I feel like I'm 5 years old in that way of life, and still so much to learn.
Like you said, I think it's when you get the nuggets, it's what you do with them. Mm-hmm. Right? Where's the action step? Mm-hmm. It's like, and that translates to everything, guys. Do you listen to Eric Thomas at all, the hip hop preacher? I
have, yeah. I listen to people in like chunks. So when I
chunks, you could only take him in chunks.
Well, no, I mean I go hard. So like when I first heard ET, I went all in on ET. But then I probably listened to the majority of the stuff, and I was like, I'm done with ET. What's the next one? So
for now,
I binge. That's what I do. I binge people when they really land on me. That's what I do.
Yeah, I'm like an ET guy. Like I love him, like his voice and what he does and his passion, and then. Like a Les Brown. I love Les Brown. Probably got me into self-development. I heard a speech from him on impact theory, and I was like, man, who's this guy? But I was listening to Eric Thomas, and he said something, and it really stuck with me because from my wrestling background, I get it, right? I know what that hard work, the dedication, the physical, the suffering, where that plays.